All right. So, this episode was very short and it reminds us why I don't like this format. Because we again are thrust out of what's happening. Even though we're still on Gorman, we there's a lot that's happened in this past year that we don't have a sense. How did the rebellion become a cohesive whole? How did they come to Yavin? Where are those jackasses? Did they survive long enough for the other rebels to join them, or are they all dead? How did the rebellion even think to set up shop on Yavin? So, this is supposed to be the start of the rebellion, but we're missing a big piece. It's great that they no longer are just, that they're more cohesive, that they're not under Luthen's thumb, which makes you wonder what is going on with Luthen. And will we see him again? Because it sounds like we've moved from Luthen being the center of the rebellion to somebody. We don't know who the center of the rebellion is right now. It sounds like it's not Luthen. Because it sounds like Luthen still treats the rebellion as different guerrilla groups that he's trying to control as chess pieces as opposed to the cohesive unit that they've become. And yeah. So there's a lot of questions still about this. So we're still on track, I think, for Cyril to become, turn to the rebellion. Simply because he's completely in the dark. He thinks that what he's doing is clandestine operations, feeding the rebels certain information in order to make them more confident in their attacks, so the Imperials can crush them. And that doesn't seem to be what's happening, and Cyril is really annoyed that he doesn't know what's going on, that he's being kept in the dark. And we see the most soulless kiss ever, with Dedra kissing Cyril. And when she kisses him, and we do not really see her reaction, but based on what happens after she's done kissing him, I question whether there's actually any heart behind it. Whether it was more of a shut up Cyril kiss rather than she's actually attracted to him. But anyway, so Cyril goes to, and that's the other thing. Cyril goes to talk to the daughter of the head of this rebellion on Gorman, and she slaps him. Seriously, what happened between them? Does it have something to do with what happened in last year, the last group of episodes? Was there something else that happened between them? Was she developing feelings for him? What is going on? We do not know what happened between these two. Now, it's possible in the next couple of episodes they will fill us in on the backstory. But as of now, as of episode 7, not a clue. So, Cyril is getting annoyed with the Imperials because they're not telling him what the hell's going on. And he thinks he's doing something that it turns out is not. necessary, and he is completely confused what his actual mission is. And Dedra's like, yeah, we'll be leaving soon. And he's like, great, that we'll have won. And he's like, great, won what? What's happening? And so, yeah, Cyril is very frustrated. And actually, I'm not sure if it's also, uh, it might also be that he just doesn't want to leave Gorman. It's entirely possible he likes his job on Gorman. I mean, it might have things might have changed, but he seemed to like it in the last group of episodes. So there's no. And how long has Dedra been on Gorman? Because I thought that was the point of Cyril being there, was that she didn't have to actually go there herself. And then there is this idea that the rebellion is bringing in outside agitators to Gorman. And maybe, well, technically that's true because Wilman had been there for a while. We don't know for how long. Obviously, he survived his encounter with, oh shoot, I'm blanking on his name from last episode. So Luthen's been having him go to Gorman. And Bix and Cassian are like, yeah, Luthen is yesterday's news. We're totally a cohesive unit now. There was that strange scene with that force healer, and all I'm thinking is, where's Grogu when you need him? Because he actually, because she even said it doesn't work all the time. So basically, she's like a modern day psychic. I mean, maybe her wild theories will come out to be true. Maybe they won't. Sometimes they're accidentally right. So, yeah. And I don't know, maybe she did heal his shoulder a little bit, but Cassian is doing the Han Solo thing. He doesn't seem to be a big believer in the Force, which, fair. I mean, if you're not that familiar with the Force, then, and you haven't seen a consistent representation of it to show that this is an actual thing, I can see where you would be a little, oh, I don't know, skeptical of the Force. But yeah, that whole scene was really weird. This whole episode was weird. We saw Mon Mothma, but we didn't see her at any parties yet. So so we don't know what's going on with her daughter. We don't know what's going on with her husband. We just know that she wants to get another new driver because he has to report back to Senate security her itinerary and the fact that she got off not where she's supposed to, but that she got off sooner and walked. And she's like, yeah, I need a new driver. So, and so we didn't see much of Mon. We saw Vel. She's joined the Cohesive Rebellion, which she is no longer on Death Watch as far as I'm concerned, because she's safely with, the main rebellion. So I think that she's going to survive this. Now, what ended up happening to her after this, leading, because we didn't see her in Rogue One, and we certainly haven't seen her in the sequels. So, God only knows what happened to her. But it's looking pretty good she's going to survive. Same thing with Bix. last episode, Luthen put into Cassian's brain about, if Bix becomes a liability, you're going to have to deal with her. Well, he's not listening to Luthen anymore. He's now part of the um rebellion that's put together. And we didn't see anything about Bix not being able to sleep. So maybe last episode, was the therapy she needed by killing off that doctor. So maybe that was the therapy she needed because she now knows that he cannot harm her anymore. Um but yeah, it would be great to know how the rebellion got together, how Cassian ended up with the main rebellion and left Luthen's side, which is too bad because we didn't get any Luthen and we didn't get any Clea, and I really like Clea. Maybe something will happen to Luthen and she'll hop on to the main rebellion. Let's see what else is there. Because like I said, this was a short episode. I'm not I think oh yeah, Saw Gerrera, that's the name of who Wilmon was with last episode. So I think Wilmon might survive this. It's unclear because he still works for Luthen. And he convinced Cassian to go after Dedra because she's the one who was behind Ferrex. And I'm sure Bix is 100% on board with killing her because, well, she's the one who had her tortured. It was very weird that Val was like, trying to convince Bix that Cassian needs to, not run off half cocked. Because, the rebellion was like, we need to know where you're going. And Cassian's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. So, yeah, I guess this is to show, because in Rogue One, he didn't start off being on Yavin. They had to go search him out. So maybe this is what causes it. He does something on Gorman that, I don't know, maybe sets off the Gorman massacre. And because of that, now I don't think he's going to kill Dedra. At least not in these block of episodes. I don't think he's going to kill Dedra because Cyril is on a trajectory of joining the rebellion. And if his boo is killed off by the rebellion, that's going to make it that's going to slap cold water on him, and he's going to stay with the Imperials. Now the question becomes if Dedra is going to come to the realization that that the Imperials are not the side she should be on. And either it's Dedra who figures it out, or maybe, like I said, it's going to be Cyril. And the reason I say that is because when the Imperials came, I didn't hear everything, but I'm pretty sure she said they're just children. So it's entirely possible she actually does possess empathy, even though she hasn't really shown it that much, except to Cyril while standing up for him against his mother. So it's entirely possible that the Gorman massacre is going to be the impetus she needs to jump ship. And Cyril just comes with her. Because they are both kind of sort of questioning. In the fact that, they're actually starting to use their brains and questioning what's going on with stuff. Now, it's entirely possible that they might both join the rebellion, but separately. Because, you know, Cyril wants to join because of one reason, and Dedra's pulling the wool over his eyes, so he might want to join the rebellion but not be anywhere near her because of how she jerked him around. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see if one or both ends up with the rebellion. Like I said, I don't think that Cassian is going to wind up killing Dedra, at least not in this group of episodes. It could be that that's another tragedy you could put in Cassian's cap if it turns out that people are right who think that Dedra is actually his sister. And that they just bleached her face so she looks really white. Because let's face it, if you look at the actress who played his sister in the first season, she has dark skin. Her skin is closer to Cassian's. So, yeah. It's, they would have to do more, they have to change her appearance, not just mess with her memories. But that would be a total tragedy if it came out after that he killed her and then finds out later that that was actually, in fact, his sister. So I guess they could go that route, but if they do, again, it's going to be towards the end of next week's episodes, not this week's. And if you're wondering why this video is super late, between technology issues and the fact that I was at a graduation this weekend, yeah. So yeah, that's why this is coming out late. Let's see, what else is there? I believe that is all I have for this video. So with that, I will see you guys in the next one.